So let's begin by diving deep into load boards, and I'll show you what a load board looks like and how to use it. So let's start off by discussing what a load board actually is. So a load board is an online marketplace where trucking companies, shippers, and brokers can post the loads that they have available, as well as help find loads to haul. So it's basically a platform that helps connect shippers and brokers with carriers. So a shipper, for example, will post an available freight on this load board with the equipment type that's required to move this freight and any other additional information. And then a carrier would reach out to this broker in regards to the freight and find out more information about it and try to provide their services to help move this freight from point A to point B. So there's a lot of benefits to load boards for all the parties involved. So for the shippers, they typically work through brokers, but the benefit for the shippers is that their freight is moved from point A to point B by a truck driver. And the benefit for the broker is they get to keep a commission, they get to keep a chunk of the money when they find a truck driver to move that freight for the shipper. So for example, a shipper might say, hey, here's $1,000. I need this load moved from point A to point B. It's your job to find a truck driver to do that for us. And the broker, what they would do is they would post that freight on the load board. A truck driver would call them and say, hey, I'm interested in this load. I'd like to move it. They would negotiate, and let's say the broker gives this load to the truck driver for $800. In that process, they made $200 just off of that one load. So that's the benefit for the brokers. Now, the benefit for the carriers is they're able to fill an idle truck with freight so that they're not just sitting there empty, and they're making money in the process. Now, in most cases, a truck driver would hire a dispatcher to deal with these brokers and, to negotiate with them and obtain all the load information and update the brokers with status of the truck drivers during the logistics process. So the benefit, for the dispatcher is that they get to keep a commission for each load that they book. So, if your commission is 8%, if you book a load for $1,000, you get to keep $80. So that's the benefit for the dispatchers. And, load board is very convenient. It's very simple to use. So, there's a lot of benefits to load boards, and a lot of people make a lot of money using these boards. So there's a lot of load boards out there. The two major ones are the DAT load board and the truck stop load board. In this course, we're going to focus on the DAT load board. And the reason for this is the truck stop load board actually does not let dispatchers have their own account. So they have to work through their carrier, meaning that their carrier has to purchase a account on truck stop and then provide the credentials to the dispatcher so that they have access to the load board. Now, for the DAT load board, on the other hand, they actually allow for dispatchers to create their account and have access to the load boards. So since we did not have our own MC authority, we can't create an account on truck stop. But on the DAT load board, on the other hand, we can create an account and have access to the largest load board out there. And again, the DAT board is actually better than the truck stop load board. And the reason for that is because a lot of the brokers use the DAT board as their primary load board when they're posting freight. Now, there's other third-party load boards that brokers themselves have created. So C.H. Robinson has their own load board, Coyote has their own load board, J.B. Hunt has their own load board. And you'll get familiarized with these names because these are, very big brokers. So you'll see their loads very often and book a lot of their loads as well. Now, just because they have their own load board does not mean that they don't post their available loads on the DAT load board. They understand that a lot of truck drivers are sitting on the DAT load boards. So whatever load that they post on their load board, they would also post it on the DAT load board.